Well, here we are, time now for the news review as we get into the latest that the papers have to offer. And I'm joined by Samuel Kojo Brace, as always. Charlie Faboom. How are we?
This is a UCC party meeting, a UG guy.
Abi, you know, it's only that you were not in Casford, at least.
Yeah,
you would have been able to relate because I'm an old vandal.
But I think the University of Cape Coast did. I mean, when they saw my picture, they should have known that I am carved out for Casford. Maybe what they can do is to change my hall, from their records and put Casford there.
Here's something interesting. When I got into the University of Ghana, I didn't care two hoots whether it was Commonwealth. In fact, I had no interest.
Okay.
But there were people who had interest, who were hoping, praying, fasting to get Commonwealth Hall. They didn't get it. Charlie, I didn't even care.
Okay.
Got it. And later, but of course, we live the brand. What you say? We are old vandals and strong. Truth stands.
Oh, my goodness.
Stands. And that's why this morning, you know what I'll be firing?
But no. What are you firing?
So, losing from both ends, our natural resources in crisis, and our economy in tatters.
Oh, okay.
Losing from both ends. Our natural resources in crisis and our economy in tatters. That's what I'm going to be talking about.
Well, when it comes to the natural resources, Galamsey, for example, a little too late, but better late than never. The meeting the president had with the National House of Chiefs. I've heard people say the chiefs do not have the power, and that the president has the power, so he should crack the whip. But, like the president stated, and it's a very, very powerful one that people haven't really averted their minds to. He said, in the olden days, the chiefs, were able to manage this whole mining process to the extent that it didn't really deteriorate our environment. When the Europeans arrived in Elmina, the reason why they called the town Elmina is because they saw our people doing mining, which means that mining has been with us for all these years. So the chiefs had what it took to ensure that mining did not degenerate into something else. And that's why he says, look, I have tried from the political angle or from the administrative angle. It didn't work. Let me come back to you and see how we can partner to do this. So I think it's a good one. I only hope that we will give it power. It wouldn't be, a surface or a surface dressing, solution to this. It will be something that will give it that power that it deserves.
Are you optimistic about it? Because look, our forebears, our forefathers, they could have, yes, they didn't have the equipment we have now and all of that, but they could have been greedy. They could have really, look at our water bodies.
Yes.
Yes, they knew there was gold down there.
Yeah.
They could have started this long before we were born. They didn't because of the sanctity of these natural resources.
Yeah.
That is why sometimes, look, let me tell you the whole bit about some water bodies being classified as, there's a god here and a goddess there and all of that. All of that was just to create a certain fear in people, to prevent them from doing the things we are doing to our natural resources now. It was just to, it's just like the bit about, you shouldn't be singing or whistling while you're having your bath. The intent is just to ensure that lather doesn't get into your mouth or eyes and stuff like that. That was the intent.
Yeah.
To protect them, to prevent people from overdoing it, even overfishing. Today, just a chain. We've just destroyed everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Everything.
That's why I'm saying that. The call to the traditional leaders to come on board is really a good one.
No, but they have always been there. Like Otumfuo said, they don't have certain powers.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying.
They have a problem because some of them are complicit in it. They are involved.
I'm saying, Ben, that we should give them this partnership, the needed power for it to be effective. Look, we cannot ban mining in its entirety.
No, but it's a source of revenue for us. We can't do that. But how we do it is the question.
Exactly. What we should have done, or what we should do now, I hope that those at the forefront of this fight will realize that we need to be specific with this fight. Let's say we are targeting the water bodies and the forest reserves as our first part of this fight. Sanitize this area. Look, when we are able to get rid of mining from our water bodies and forest reserves, I'm sure we'll be like 95% through this fight. Because the rest of it, the rest of it, which is like the underground mining, really it's not a major problem for us. Our biggest problem is the water body, which of course no law in Ghana has ever given anybody the mandate to mine on the water body. So even that is illegal in the first place. For the people who are doing it on the land, there are people who we have given licenses to who are also engaged in irresponsible and illegal mining. Let's go after those people. But I'm saying that let's target the river bodies and the forest reserves. And I'm sure, I tell you, we will win this fight hands down.
Why?
If we are doing everything together, we are not going to go anywhere.
Why I am not so optimistic? There's a trajectory.
Okay.
And today, as I share, my blunt thoughts, I'll be getting into them.
Okay.
Itiwa, what did we not say? But we're still bent on going there for bauxite, looking at the ecosystem and everything. Yeah. It's a forest reserve.
Yeah.
Sir John, we saw that he was willing out forest reserve to his family. Now, another forest reserve in the Nimri Forest, Samre Boy, Western region. Someone is mining there.
Yeah.
Do you see the trajectory?
Yeah.
I am not enthused and I'm not optimistic. I want to see something beyond the rhetoric. You know why? The water bodies you speak of, according to even the most optimistic, data or figures, if we stopped all Galamsey today on every water body, stopped nothing, it will take 100 years for the water bodies to go back to some semblance of their natural state.
But that's why we have to stop it today.
And we are here. So I mean, the whole talk, I want to see the talk because guess what? I am affected today, but I'm even thinking 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now. What will those after us come to be?
That is why I'm saying that we should have a target.
And it's been a lot of talk up to this time. Now our water bodies are looking like beverage.
Yes.
So if we're not careful, at some point they'll move from Milo and start looking like Asana.
If the authorities are listening, the truth is that if they really want to win this fight against Galamsey, I'm saying they should target the river bodies, the water bodies.
And they should target those among them who are complicit, rather than telling us that, we will henceforth, if you are found, How about those who are found?
And then again, what about the interventions we've done? We heard that we had bought some drones. Where are they? What are they being used for?
The excavators that we seized, where are they?
So I mean, we shouldn't be, see, if we are serious about this whole Galamsey thing, it shouldn't be that we touch here, we leave it, touch this, we leave it. No. We're not winning. Because the Galamsey people, this is their blood, though. So they will do everything they can to have access to the gold.
Exactly.
You would have to also be ready to meet them wherever they will go. Last time I was telling someone that if we pretend that this is not a war, and would always want to do the usual things, we're not going to get any different results. If you want to get different results, you don't do things the same way. You have to do things differently. If they really understand the Galamsey like I do, I've lived in a Galamsey community before, I know how it is.
Yeah.
They shouldn't think that it's going to be something that will be on a silver platter. That's why we don't want it.
It goes back to that saying, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got.
Exactly. So really, we need to change it. I really hope that tomorrow we'll hear that, look, now our operation is, we're going after those underwater bodies. Look.
No, but we've done that before.
We haven't.
Do you remember when they were shooting the Shangfans and all of that?
We're shooting?
Oh, yeah.
Well, when were we shooting that?
One of the operations that you saw military men, I mean, it was put on TV and all of us were clapping. Exactly my point. It's not that we haven't, you see, that's the whole point.
But that's the point I mean.
You see the bit you are talking about with drones, right? Are you saying that we are incapable? We are talking about drone technology to convey blood and all of that, to chips compounds and all of that. Are you telling us, looking at the damage Galamsey is doing to us, illegal mining, that we cannot, as a country, put funds, and mind you, we spent hundreds of millions on this Galamsey thing, with practically nothing to show. The situation is worse. Are you telling us we can't invest in drone technology? Hopefully,
drones. What are they?
No, I'm saying enough to cover large swathes of the country, different parts, targeted at different parts where Galamsey is ongoing, up north, down south, middle belt, and constantly ensure that these drones are patrolling so that when there's any activity, we get a tip off and we, are you telling us we are incapable of that? If we are not doing that, it's simply because that will is not there. It's not there.
You see, we went around just inaugurating district mining committees. What has come of, or what has become of them really? Charlie, sometimes when I look at this thing, I'm like, We are not.
It's so annoying because some people either are directly benefiting, are engaged in it, or know people who are engaged in it.
But we've seen
and it's
it.
just a corner the rest of us
We have seen it. We have seen
have been
people,
boxed into a corner.
We have
and a
seen,
few people are actually enjoying from the revenue of gold in our own country.
We have seen that people who are politically exposed are involved in this whole illegal mining menace. And that's why we have not been able to solve it. So, Mr. President, if you are watching, or if anybody is watching who's close to him, kindly, let's double step our approach to this whole Galamsey thing, because if we don't, we'll regret it. Like Ben just alluded to the fact that even if we end Galamsey on river bodies, it will take 100 years. None of us now will be alive. Those who may be alive, just a handful of the kids who have been born. All of us
young man,
may be gone.
Speak for yourself. Who knows? I could be 100.
Oh, no.
Way 100 plus.
Data does not support.
Do you know how long I will live?
Which law?
Do you know how long do you know what God can do? Are you going to Genesis 18:14? Are you going to? Is there anything impossible for God? Are you going to do shakara with God?
There's nothing impossible for him. But he would ensure that you don't suffer.
Oh, yeah.
This plus 100 will be 100 and
100 and what and still fit.
No.
Vim Yazo, Karifi. Do you know Karifi? When the Hausa people say Karifi, do you know Karifi?
Anyway, Galamsey, we don't have.
No, we simply don't have the will. I've not seen this in any country at this level, where the level of destruction. Look, and with administration sitting down and with their own members being complicit, and we talk about, we'll crack the whip. What whip? There's no whip to be cracked.
Today, someone sent me a message that in Mpho district of the Western region, there's a river in my district called Butre. The source is from the Mpho district. Some Chinese have taken excavators.
You mean let me do some dialogue. You mean Winston Amwes and Mpho district?
Exactly.
Winston Amwes and Mpho district. I'll tease him about this.
Charlie, you see, sometimes you sit and you don't get the way we are as a country. And I also craved, ask the people, for us, the citizens, let us join this fight as well. See, in my community, when you come there to do Galamsey and we say no, it means no. But when we say yes, it means yes. Let us join. The politicians have failed us. But let us not sit there and say, if they don't do anything, we won't also do it. In our own small way. Let's prevent it. Look, the excavators they take into the bush, we can stop them. I've been in communities where they've stopped
some of these people
from entering.
You are aware, these people, when they do their kululu, go around the system, they come armed, heavily armed and all of that. Sometimes people will tell you, we see that we want to do something, you even dare speak, and they are chasing you with bullets.
As for that.
Will you risk your life?
No, you wouldn't.
You would expect that the state, with its power, it is clothed with that power. My power, your power, our power, would use that power to deter them. But that's not what's happening.
Charlie.
The buck ultimately stops with the state.
And one thing I would want to say, let us, like the president said, let us take partisan politics out of this.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Galamsey
then, Galamsey now, Galamsey as it will happen, is not in our national interest. But my point is, the authorities that must work must sit up and do the work. That's it.
The president must really crack the whip. Ben, let's start with the Ghanaian Times. Paying compensation to all customers we can't pay. ECG to PRC. Let's wage relentless fight against breast cancer. NTC Managing Director. Man 24 remanded for alleged murder of 70-year-old farmer. And BOG committed to financial inclusion agenda first, Deputy Governor says. Let me bring this story about the fact that ECG says they can't honor that directive by the PRC to pay customers for...
And that's an interesting bit.
The Electricity Company of Ghana says it cannot undertake a wholesome compensation payment to all customers of the company as directed by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PRC, for the recent power crisis. Rather, the company noted it was prepared to abide by the laid-down procedure to pay compensation to affected customers on case-by-case basis. Managing Director of ECG, Samuel Dubek Mahama, said his outfit was preparing to engage the PRC on the need to alter the directive to make case-by-case the basis of payment of compensation.
case by case.
Yeah. We look at your case and then we...
Good luck to them in identifying the case by case. Of course, I'm sure they are looking at their losses. But you see, when it comes to dealing with people, I think sometimes that is the problem with public groupings, right? Public entities. It's a bit difficult for them on these. Private enterprise often would look, because it's private business.
Yeah.
People can leave you anytime. But when it comes to the public, you know, there's that leeway.
No, but
the masses are involved.
He makes a point here that
Go ahead.
A wholesome form of compensation to all customers would mean that those who did not suffer any form of damage will be paid as well. What kind of damage is he talking about? Because me leaving office and going around, I mean, I went to Aveno, I went to Makola before I was directed to go to Tema.
Yeah.
And I even burst a tire on my way to Tema. So what damage? Is that the damage he's talking about?
You know, it's a bit narrow in thinking. It could be that I wasn't affected. Honestly, I haven't topped up in a while.
Okay.
Within this period, I've not gone to get any credits or something. I still have something left. But what if I wasn't affected in that way, but I was going to my favorite cold store and they were shut because of the same problem. And so I had to spend more money, go to other places. I mean, it may not be direct, but they may be indirect consequences of your actions. On me, would you say that I've also not been affected? Well, I mean, if they tell us that, for example, looking at our economic situation right now, we're bleeding this and that, and these, it may be more practical, but to say that we can't give it en masse because not everybody was affected is neither here nor there.
But why should we pay you if you didn't suffer what we suffered?
Have you seen the hikes in electricity tariffs? Have you seen even comparatively, what we're paying even during the pandemic and what we're paying now, and the addition?
Wouldn't you agree with him to say, let's do it case by case, because you were not affected?
The case by case scenario. The case by case scenario.
I was affected. So then you look at
you. You're playing partisan politics in this matter.
That is not partisan. You were not affected.
Kojo politics versus Akakpo politics. that is not fair.
You were not affected, really, were you?
But I think, looking at some of the challenges we face from time to time, it wouldn't be a big deal for them to even show some goodwill. I think it's goodwill to the people that, we did this, enjoy this. Something minimal.
Yeah.
It's not, the people are not expecting anything big.
Yeah.
I think if you did something minimal, just a show of goodwill, even if 10 CDs, something small, something small, not anything, What do you say?
Anyway. Now, let's wage a relentless fight against breast cancer. Now, the managing director of the New Times Corporation, Mr. Martin Edu-Osu, has advised the public to be tenacious and relentless in the fight against breast cancer. He says, and I quote, "It is our collective and decisive resolve to fight breast cancer in all 8 tendencies that would have positive impact on both present and future generations." Ben, so I'm sure you've seen that isn't a news card from JoyNews making rounds that this month you need to suck a breast to ensure
why were your lips were quivering when you were saying that? Say that boldly.
Oh, you need to
you need to
so it's important. I mean, husbands would have to feel the breast of their wives to ensure that there are no lumps in them.
Okay.
And then
there's a way of doing that.
Yes. Okay. Do it and do it nicely. Don't be too aggressive on it. And then again, we are being advised.
You are preaching to some people.
Oh yeah. And then we are being advised to suck the breast.
Okay.
To help the women. So you need to suck your wife's breast.
Okay.
I mean,
how about those who are not married?
And then you are not part of it.
Okay.
Or
thanks for the
a friend of yours can ask for your services. Oh yes.
Oh, sir.
Oh yeah. I think so. If you have a very close buddy, or even your sister can ask you that. Your sister who's not married can ask you, Ben, kindly do this for
sister, dear, that's a dangerous level.
Why? But your sister, dear, your sister should even be
that could be incestuous. Nah, sister, if it turns into something
your
else.
Sister. There's nothing that should attract you.
Have you not heard of incest? Sister, dear, it's bordering on the
bad friend, dear.
The far end of the spectrum.
Bad friend, dear, it's okay.
Well, they say there are friends with something, so I don't want to stray into that. But of course, this is highly restricted to married people, yeah? Take care of your partner. And I think the favor should be returned because guess what? People don't realize this, but there is a small, percentage, a minority group of men who also get breast cancer. Sometimes we forget that. So when it's Pink October, think about the men as well. You see some men, they have a bit of a fall. You understand? The Ghana people understand what I mean. So they too need attention. I don't know. I think it's under 5% or something of the sort with the men. But there is a group. Yes, men can also get
breast
cancer.
Okay. Now, he says certain factors that increase risk of breast cancer are obesity, harmful use of alcohol, family history of breast cancer, history of radiation exposure, reproductive history, such as age-rapid menstrual periods began in age at first pregnancy, tobacco use, and post-menopausal hormone therapy. So let's be watchful of those. Ben.
All right, let's get into the Daily Graphic newspaper. Botiano, Englishi, Amanfro, cries for roads, other developments. I want us to display the front page of the Daily Graphic if we have it, but just look at this. This is like a gully. Look there, where it's written page 17. Just look there. That is like a ditch, a proper ditch, and I've seen far worse. You know, this is the state of our roads. Let me get into that page and read the story for you. And when we say these things, it's not out of any malice. When you've had a year of roads, 3 years back to back, and we have roads like this, that's something. It is the last constituency in the Greater Accra region before entering the central region at Kaswa, with a voter population of, guess what, 111,000 going by the 2020 general election. Botiano, English Amanfro constituency in the Gas South municipality, has been grappling with multiple developmental issues since its creation in 2012. Bordered by the Wejagbawe constituency to the east, Ewutu Senya East constituency to the western north, the Gomwa East constituency to the western south area, and Domiabra Obum constituencies to the north. This coastal constituency covers Aplaku, Botiano, Oshieye, Kokrobite, Tuba, and parts of Weja. Now, in spite of challenges, the constituency is a beneficiary of 2 factories currently operating under government's one district, one factory policy. One of them, Everpure Ghana Limited, is sited at Tomefa in English Amanfro. The factory produces sachet and bottled water. The other factory, established to produce diapers, known as Sunda International, is located at Donkona. And with this, nature of roads, do you know what that is going to do even to the industries that you want to set up? In terms of conveying their products, in terms of manufacturing, in terms of accessing raw material? I rest my case.
Anytime I think about roads, and I go as far back as the basic school when we were told that some of the challenges confronting agriculture was poor road network, I'm like, ish. So why are we always...
In this day and age.
We're always about road networks.
There's also first after trading. Ghana tiles Rwanda goods take lead. And Ghana has issued its first certificate of full commercial trading to a ceramic tiles production company to export its products under the African Continental Free Trade Area Guided Trade Initiative. In the same vein, the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority has received the first consignment of goods under the initiative from Rwanda, with delivery already done. The Assistant Commissioner of Customs in charge of the AFTA Secretariat, F.Y. Akoto, who made this known in an interview with the Daily Graphic in Accra yesterday, said on September 30 this year, the Customs Division issued the certificate of trading to a tiles manufacturing company, Keda Ghana Ceramics Company Limited, located at Shama in the Western region, to export a consignment of its products to Cameroon. He further indicated that a second Ghana-based company, the Benso Oil Palm Plantation, we know of it, at Edum Banso, also in the Western region, was expected to export palm kernel oil to Kenya in due course. Great strides as far as that. I mean, I don't feel we've done enough with the AFTA, especially having the Secretariat here, but at least this is a good start.
Very, very good start. And I'm told that Ghana will also be receiving approved goods from participating state parties as well.
Right.
So let's see how this is. This is good. It opens up the market. And see, I always say that when we collaborate, there's a lot we can do together. So this is really a good step that we're taking.
All right.
I hope that it goes well for
Two quick stories to wrap. Use your powers to check executive. NMC chair challenges parliament. Story on page 16. Also on page 16, graphic tertiary business sense challenge. KNUST crowned 2022 champions. Let me just take snippets. Graphic tertiary business sense challenge.
Oh, okay.
All right. So The Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has emerged winners of the Graphic Tertiary Business Sense Challenge version 4.0. The university, which was appearing in the finals of the competition for the second time in a row, convincingly beat two-time champions, the University of Cape Coast, and maiden finalists, the University for Professional Studies, Accra, in a heated contest held at the National Theatre in Accra yesterday. Of course, in the other story, Yawwedu Ayebwafo, the chairman of the NMC, has urged Parliament to exert its powers to check the executive arm of government. On the back page, Königsdörfer chasing dream World Cup spot. I'm talking about right-winger plying his trade with Hamburger SV. And his senior career, he's also been with Dynamo Dresden, and he wants to play Ransford Yeboah Königsdörfer. And he wants to don the red, gold, green, black of the Black Stars.
Okay.
Anyway.
Now, in the Finder, it says 1,801 killed in crashes in 9 months. Provisional data compiled by the Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Ghana Police Service shows that the number of commuters killed in road traffic crashes recorded in the first 9 months of 2022 declined by 17.08% compared to the same period of 2021. That's good news there. But still some people are dying, so we need to do more. The fact that it has declined by 17.08% is good, but we need to do more. But there's also an interesting article in the Finder. It says how some health professionals are killing patients in Ghana by Felix Kwame Kweno. I mean, he addresses how health professionals are needlessly, killing patients in Ghana. And this thing has been on the table for quite some time.
Right.
And I hope that we will address it. It looks like we are not doing much when it comes to addressing these whole issues about health professionals and how they treat patients. But this will be the true interesting stories that I picked from the Finder newspaper today.
Let's get into some quick stories as well. Daily Guide newspaper, Bank of Ghana hikes policy rate to 24.5%. NDC adopts Momo payments. Story on page 3. Police bust toddler abuser. I'll be getting into that story. Arrest Galamsey kingpins Ojia Hoho Yaujebi. President of the National House of Chiefs says so, and government to pay Idra victims 1.2 million. So let me focus on those two stories. The Office of the Attorney General and recently the Kaka family, had cause to talk about the delay in the legal processes and all of that.
A news conference on
Wednesday. And I think, is it Edie, one of the family members who supposedly was a suspect, still, how long? A year plus and nothing to show. The Office of the Attorney General has recommended a total of 1.2 million Ghana cedis as compensation to the 3 victims who suffered various degrees of injury in the Idra shooting incident that occurred at Idra in the Ashanti region in June last year. A source close to the issue has disclosed to the Daily Guide that the AG and Minister of Justice Godfrey Adami on July 22, 2022 wrote to the Minister of Interior Ambrose Derry to make the payments to the victims by setting out the basis and formula for the payment. We await seeing what happens in that respect. But page 6, police bust toddler abuser. I'm sure you've seen the video.
Yeah. Very shocking one.
A man at Akakpo in the Jasikan district of the Oti region has been arrested by the police investigating allegations of recent child abuse captured in a video that went viral on social media. Richard Kofi was picked up in the community at about 3:30 p.m. on Wednesday. The Fourth Estate reported yesterday and added that the wife of the child abuser was also arrested. Finally, earlier, the police denied having arrested the suspect, asserting that they were following a number of leads as part of the ongoing investigation to track down the individual. But now that has happened. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection has condemned the brutal assault of the toddler, describing the action as cruel, inhumane, and a barbaric act meted out to the child. Barbaric doesn't even suffice in describing, this whole thing. It was crazy. And in the entertainment page, all my friends...
His head should be checked.
Well, sometimes we use that as an excuse, but I agree. It must also be checked to find out how mentally stable he is, because it was just... You would think he was fighting with an adult. Even if you were fighting with an adult and you had more strength. This final one on entertainment. All my friends deserted me. Daddy Lumba. He's been speaking, DL. And he says in his moment of trial, especially when he was not well, Charlie. Anyway, back to you.
Well, the Ghanaian publisher, the editorial says, fighting the environmental terrorist.
Yeah, that's what Elizabeth Va describes this as. Environmental terrorism.
I've always said that's how we should see it. If we see it that way, that's how we can win. Look, well, anyway. Says parochial interest out. And I hope that, now let me read a bit of it. It says, President Akufo-Addo this week met with chiefs, traditional rulers, and all stakeholders in the fight against Galamsey. The meeting primarily is to take the Galamsey fight a notch higher, even as the country strives to find a lasting solution to this national problem. But the editorial is cautioning that all those who have vested interest in Galamsey must be dealt with. And I hope that those in charge will read this and ensure the right things are done. People who are known to be involved in this should be punished. They shouldn't be treated with kid gloves. It doesn't help the fight. But I think that's what really caught my attention. They also talk about the Galamsey fight and that President Akufo-Addo is telling the chiefs to help in protecting our heritage. Let's see how that goes. But again, we are proud as teachers, but not our work condition.
Okay.
Nat is speaking. So Nat says that they are proud to be teachers. You know, this week we had the World Teacher Day. And they are proud to be teachers, but their working conditions are so bad that they want government to do something about.
Right.
So yeah, I think this would be all from it for me. NDC throws Galamsey challenge at Akufo-Addo. That's something I've said we shouldn't do. So I hope that we would limit, you know, the whole politicization of this particular fight. But Ben, as we go.
But we also cannot say that anytime a political actor speaks, it is politics. There's the national interest, there's a political interest. If someone is speaking the truth and it is the way to go, where do we delineate what is national interest and political interest? Do you get it? So we shouldn't play the politics of maybe we did this and you did that. It should be, look, this is a national problem. Let's do this. Let's face the facts.
But that's where when you come out to say that, they also go out to point it out to you that, oh, during your time this happened. You know that.
That is the problem.
Exactly. But you know that former President Mahama has said that when he comes, he'll give amnesty to Ghanaians who have been arrested for engaging in Galamsey. You are aware.
Yes, but that was set in a certain context. I've seen people throwing that around.
I'm saying that, Ben.
And the context is very important.
When you bring that up, the other party will also tell you that he also said this, you know.
Well,
so that's what I'm saying that, look, that thing that Sami Jemfi did yesterday is good, but they could have also given it to a civil society to have done it.
Right.
It would have conveyed the same message.
Without their coming in. I get the point.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that we should just detach ourselves from the politics and do what is right for Mother Ghana in the end.
It is difficult for the political actors. For us, it won't be any difficulty, but they will bring it up.
Let's wrap with Republic Press. AMA to roll out community-based solid waste separation and compost projects in Accra. NDC Muddies Galamsey waters. That is how Republic Press captures the story. Man saves Nigerian lady from ritual murders. And NPP grassroots celebrate Alan Cash. Two stories I'll very quickly look at. Martin Amidu wades into IMF convo. And according to the special prosecutor, government is scheming, his words, to use the IMF as a smokescreen to dump an austerity budget on Ghanaian citizens. That is what
we give the details on Newsnight on Joy FM.
And then men sucking breasts. I had to go to this. Men sucking breasts cannot prevent breast cancer. So a surgeon at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Joel Emisa, has debunked claims that sucking breasts can prevent breast cancer. According to her, it is breastfeeding that can prevent breast cancer and not breast sucking by men.
Okay.
So
I didn't know this.
Varying thinking
I don't know
on
this.
And yes, I can't tell you. No.
For those
take
of
it
us,
easy. Take it easy.
For those of us who are married, we are okay. I mean, doctor will agree that we are okay. My wife is not breastfeeding now, so I would have to provide that service. I would have to turn myself into the baby to breastfeed.
Provide the service as though you were way beyond. Just because.
So that's it.
If your wife is listening, we greet you.
She is.
What's her name? What's her name?
She's Abigail.
Abigail.
Abigail Abena Amponsa Brace.
I like the way you pronounce the name.
Yeah.
A lot of people butcher that name. They go Abigail.
Nah.
Abi boy.
Abigail.
Abigail.
Abena
Abigail.
Amponsa.
Oh,
Brace.
lovely name.
Solid young lady.
Good morning to you, Abigail. Kojo has good plans for you, especially in this month of October.
Tonight I'm going home, so really, yeah. After Prime, I'll go.
You'll go and deliver,
No, I'm going to the children.
Services.
I'm not going to her, I'm going to the children. But of course, she's home, so yeah. It's an added advantage to the traveling.
Anyway, so we'll be bringing you sports shortly, but look out for my blunt thoughts, titled Losing from Both Ends. Our natural resources in crisis and our economy in tatters. But sports now, Muftau Nabila Abdullahi engages Gifty Owari. On what exactly? The Women's Premier League, and in fact, it's coming off. So what can we expect? Razak Misbah actually has that interaction. Do stay with us.